Sound of urgent news alert sting. Good evening. Major breaking news. China and Taiwan have signed a framework for peaceful coexistence. Both leaders were present, catching the world off guard. It's a roadmap to step back from the brink. Tonight, the threat is replaced by fragile hope. The official announcement came quietly. No ceremony, no press, just a joint statement released online. The language was careful, emphasizing shared heritage and a commitment to peace. It avoided the words reunification and independence, focusing instead on practical steps. The plan includes reducing military presence, opening new trade and travel links, and establishing a permanent communication channel. For decades, such direct talks were unthinkable. Something fundamental has changed. World leaders were likely woken by urgent briefings, reading the same statement as the rest of us. The United States, long the key player in this drama, was left on the sidelines. The Taiwan Relations Act has shaped U.S. policy for 50 years. This agreement changes everything. The world superpower was a spectator, the first image to emerge. A grainy photo of the two leaders, serious and determined, sitting at a long table. No smiles, no celebration, just the weight of history. This was a solemn, historic act. Both leaders have gambled their political futures on this deal. They have defied decades of hostility. The world must now react to their audacious move. The shock is not just the content, but the way it was revealed. Diplomacy has rarely moved so quickly or so secretly. The global order has been upended overnight. The world is watching, stunned. The Chinese and Taiwanese presidents stand in a plain room and extend their hands. A firm, formal handshake, unimaginable for 75 years. The body language is stiff, not warm. This is a calculated risk, not a reunion. This handshake offers a glimpse of a different future, one where warships are replaced by cargo ships, threats by talks. The world holds its breath. Washington's reaction is cautious, a statement welcoming reduced tensions, but with cool, distant language. The U.S. has been the primary security guarantor for Taiwan. This agreement sidelines America in a profound way. Europe's initial response is relief, but also anxiety. The EU calls the deal courageous, yet worries about the economic and political implications. Europe's economy is tied to China, but it shares values with Taiwan. A new China-Taiwan relationship could create an economic powerhouse Europe must reckon with. In Asia, reactions are mixed. Japan calls an emergency security meeting, concerned about its own strategic interests. South Korea is more positive, seeing hope in dialogue. Southeast Asian countries watch nervously, wary of shifting power balances. The United Nations praises the vision and courage of both leaders, offering support for the agreement. A major global conflict has been averted through dialogue, but the UN knows how fragile such agreements can be. The real work begins now. The world will watch to see if this framework becomes lasting peace. The stakes are high for everyone. This is not just a regional issue, it's global. Every capital is reassessing its position. The shockwaves are only beginning. The world order is in flux. The Taiwan Strait, just 100 miles wide, has long been a military frontier. This agreement aims to transform it from a barrier into a bridge. Demilitarizing the area would fundamentally change East Asia's security landscape. The implications for the U.S. military are immense. Regular U.S. Navy patrols may no longer serve their old purpose. If China and Taiwan are de-escalating, does a large U.S. presence now create instability? The Pentagon must be rethinking decades of strategy. The first island chain, from Japan through Taiwan to the Philippines, has been key to containing China. Taiwan is the critical link. If its relationship with China changes, the whole strategy could collapse. China may gain easier access to the Pacific, a major strategic victory. U.S. allies like Japan and Australia will need new defense plans. The geopolitical chessboard is being reset. This is about more than China and Taiwan. It's about the future of global power. Will this spark a new era of cooperation or cement China's dominance? Smaller countries now face tough choices: align with a new Sino-Taiwanese bloc or double down on U.S. partnerships. Every country must reassess its position. The world is entering uncharted territory. Global markets are in turmoil. At first, the prospect of peace sent stocks soaring. Defense shares tumbled, trade companies surged, but anxiety soon set in, especially over Taiwan's semiconductor industry. Taiwan produces most of the world's advanced microchips, vital for tech, cars, and military hardware. The agreement mentions economic integration, but what does that mean for this critical industry? Will Taiwan's chip sector remain independent or be absorbed by China? The uncertainty is causing a sell-off. Beyond markets, the human questions are profound. What does this mean for Taiwan's 23 million people, their democracy, their identity? Does this deal secure their future or trade away sovereignty for peace? There will be both celebrations and protests in Taipei. The island is deeply divided. In China, the Communist Party has long promised reunification. This is not reunification, but coexistence. How will Beijing sell this to its people? As a strategic win or a compromise? The questions tonight are endless. Where do we go from here? We are in uncharted waters. The agreement is just a piece of paper. The hard work begins now. Trust must be built, step by step. Powerful forces on both sides will try to sabotage the process. The international community's role is critical. The U.S. faces a choice: support the process or view it with suspicion. Washington's next moves will be watched closely. The same goes for Japan and the EU. For now, the world holds its breath. We are at a hinge point in history. The 21st century could be defined by what happens next in the Taiwan Strait. Will this be the start of a new era of peace, or just a pause before greater danger? Is this the end of the post-What-Wei-Wen-Tzu order, or the beginning of something new? No one has the answers tonight. We are all living through this moment of uncertainty together. This story is just beginning. The world has changed today. The consequences will echo for generations.